Hi, my name is Alexis.
Hi, I'm Matt.
And we just wanted to take a minute and tell you just a little bit about our story. So we've been married almost 8 years.
Yep.
It's been a long time, but we've almost been married that same amount of time without filing our taxes. So, yeah, very true. So you might be thinking, gasp, 7 years without filing your taxes. Or you might be thinking, wow, I haven't filed my taxes in that long of time.
Or you might be thinking, what could happen with me with the IRS? Or
yeah.
Could they be coming after me and sending me to jail? Or
yeah.
all kinds of different things.
Exactly. So you may have some worst case scenarios. So we just wanted to take a minute and share about what happened to us. So just like everybody, we have reasons why we didn't file. We were married in 2013. And shortly after that, we decided to make a move from California, our home, to here in Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
And after moving, we were, what would you call that? A trans-state relationship?
Yeah. California
and Arizona. I was here. He was working still back home in California. I had a job here. And then even after you moved here, you were trans job. He worked in California and you worked here in Arizona as well.
Which made filing your taxes very challenging.
Right, not straightforward. And we both had used H&R Block type services before, and so we didn't know how to file. So we also tried to go to a professional, and we had taken a pretty big pay cut when we moved here. Huge pay cut. And so we not only didn't know how to file ourselves, but we didn't have the money to hire a professional. And we were kind of at a loss. So we filed an extension and didn't file.
Thus creating the snowball effect.
Yes. So fast forward, we had our daughter in 2015, and still we did not file. So now if you're doing the math with us, shame. We're from 2013 to be married. The last year that both of us had filed was singly in 2012. Mm-hmm. And then now we hear 2015, still haven't filed, have a child, and we didn't file. And we were both finally here by 2015. We were both here, both had jobs here, no longer had income coming from California. But
not making much money.
But we weren't making much money. So as Matthew mentioned, snowball effect. We hadn't been able to pay for the previous years, and we couldn't start from scratch on the year that we knew we would make money because we had a daughter and we had low income. So 2016, still didn't file. Again, it was just a matter of it kept kind of building up to this point. Yeah. We actually, in 2016 or 17, we went to a professional, got an estimate, and I believe it was somewhere around $700 a tax year. That was not going to happen. Couldn't afford that. Couldn't even dream of affording that per year that we hadn't filed.
Couldn't even afford the TurboTax.
No,
do it yourself.
No, there's nothing. We had a very rough couple of years financially speaking. And so 2018 we had our second daughter, and still could not file. So you can imagine if you're listening to this story and you either have been there with us, or you're in horror thinking, oh my gosh, I would never let that happen. Well, good for you, because we definitely don't encourage this.
No.
But and I know Matt can kind of chime in on this about the fear and the anxiety that we both experienced. We had already had some wage garnishments from the fact that Matthew had already owed from his 2012 taxes because he made a substantial income on a 1099. And that's just a fancy term for he doesn't pay taxes in his paycheck, and he pays them at the end of the year, which he did not have, and therefore had to make payments to the IRS. They took money out that we actually did not owe them, come to find out, which, spoiler alert, we'll get there. But they took over, what was it? It was close to like $1,200 out of our bank account, which that was our rent. Like, we had no money. We had to be bailed out by our family. It was a very stressful time, and it was just never knowing what was going to happen. Were we going to be garnished? Could we go to jail? Because tax jail is a real thing. So it was just a lot of fear. And so this year, actually, 2019, we took Matt's retirement money and fixed our taxes. We could not go any further and continue to let this happen. We just made that choice. May not have been the best choice, but it was what we could do at the time. And
it's really what we had to do.
It's what we had to do. We did not have the extra income no matter how hard we tried. And so here we were, we went to a tax professional who charged us a fair rate. We're very compassionate, very understanding. And so we went through the process and we got to the end, and I'll let you share a little bit about that. So we fast forward, we've given them all our documents. We've gone through the 100 million questions. Thankfully I did have a pretty good record keeping of all of those things, but we did hit some snags because we were missing a W-2 unbeknownst. That had flown under our radar. So trying to get that back. So you can imagine waiting that long came with its own struggles, but here we are, we've done it. We've got through that. We're sitting, we're signing, and the tax preparer is giving us the information. And do you want to just kind of talk about that?
Tax preparers giving us the information, and come to find out it wasn't nearly the amount of money that we thought we were going to owe. In fact, we ended up getting a lot of money back. And right then and there, I just had a moment that it was just like, why did you wait so long? Why did this eat at you and
so much stress
and give you all this stress when all you had to do was just get it figured out and let it go? Because I ended up crying because it was just an amazing moment that we could actually get free from this. And so I just want to encourage everybody who's out there and needing to get their taxes done, and maybe you have waited a long time to get them done, or maybe you're that diligent person that gets them done. Kudos to you. But
we're going to be you this year.
be proactive and get the answers that you need. And if you don't have the money, figure out a way that you can get the answers so that you can make decisions in order to help yourself, so that you're not getting in trouble, and you can sleep at night and be stress-free. So essentially,
I just started working at Pay It Forward Taxes, and it seems a little crazy to be working at a tax company after having such a stressful experience with tax preparing. And so just sharing my story in the light that you could learn, like Matt said, that you can know that you need to find answers. You need to not just sit in fear, because we assumed that we were going to owe the government. And so that was another added reason. Now, granted, we didn't have the money to prepare our taxes, but there were other options that we probably could have pursued, and just were so scared and so fearful at the time. And we didn't really make the best decisions because we operated out of fear. So if you're watching this, I would just encourage you, not just because I'm working at Pay It Forward Taxes, but because we lived it, to actually ask a question, call, there's no harm in asking. You're not going to get judgment-free zone for you to come in and just know that people are going to listen to your story and have compassion on you, and know that, maybe there were reasons and you didn't know better, like us. We did the best with the knowledge that we had, but maybe you can learn from our mistakes and set yourself up for a better tax year, better tax future. And especially if children like we do, this was just a big burden of relief for them as well, because now mom and dad aren't stressed. And so I encourage parents to definitely get your taxes and your financial situations straightened out to the best you can, because your kids do know. I mean, ours are 4 and 1, so they don't understand the concept of money yet, but they do understand stress. So I thank you for watching this video. Thank you for taking the time to hear our story. And don't be like us. Have a great day. Bye.